Hello everyone, I am Emine Yavuz. I am an English language instructor at School of Foreign Languages at Gaziantep Islam Science and Technology. Today I am going to teach you the quantifiers. Let's look at the outline of the lesson. I'm going to do the introduction to the quantifiers, definite quantifiers, indefinite quantifiers, example of definite and indefinite quantifiers, countable and uncountable nouns that we use with the quantifiers, and quantifier selection for noun types, and exercises about quantifiers. Yes, introduction to quantifiers. What are these? What are the quantifiers? Quantifiers are words that specify the quantity or the amount of something. They modify nouns and provide information about how many or how much something exists. There are two types of quantifiers. We use definite and indefinite quantifiers according to their type of use. Yes, definite quantifiers are like this. All refers to entire of the group or the signify inclusiveness. Every implies a singular focus emphasizing each individual in a group. And sums indicates an unspecified amount implying a portion but not the whole. And any used in negative statements or questions. We suggest the lack of specific items. And no is express a complete absence or negation of a particular item. Indefinite quantifiers are like much, many, a lot of, lots of, a few, a little. With countable nouns, we use many, a lot of, lots of, and a few. And with uncountable nouns, we generally use much, a lot of, lots of, a little. When we say countable nouns, we talk about the nouns that can be plural or that can be said as 1, 2, or 3. Books, people, chairs are the sample of countable nouns. And uncountable nouns are things you cannot count, such as water, information, time, money, etc. Yes, example of definite quantifier usages. For instance, all the students were present. This shows inclusiveness. Every day is a new opportunity, emphasizing the significance of each individual day, every day, each day, one by one. Some of the cake is left. There is not whole portion, but there is some. Indicates a portion of the cake. Did you bring any snack? Ask if there are snacks available. As we mentioned before, we use any in negative sentences and question sentences to ask about something or to say if there is anything available or not. No one was home indicates a complete absence of people. You go home and there is no one at the home. Yes, example of indefinite quantifier usages. When we say indefinite quantifiers, we can say many, a lot of, and a few. There are many books in the library. When we say many, we can imply a large quantity of the books. He has a lot of money. Again, a considerable amount of money. They only had a few minutes to spare. There is just small time that they can leave. I drank a little water indicates a small amount of water was consumed. Yes, let's look at the countable and uncountable noun again. As I mentioned before, items that we can count are the countable nouns, and items that we cannot count are the uncountable nouns. For example, water. We just define water with a bottle of water, with a cup of water, some advice. We cannot say one advice, two advice, some information, one book or two books, one apple or two apples, many apples, cats, one cat, two cat. I had a cat before, like this. We can count these nouns. Yes, quantifier selection based on noun type. We have many, much, a lot of, a few, a little as the quantifier, and we have countable nouns and uncountable nouns. For example, we can use many with just countable nouns. We cannot use it with uncountable nouns. We use much with uncountable nouns. We cannot use it with countable nouns. We have a lot of. We can use this with both countable and uncountable nouns. A lot of books and a lot of information. A few apples. Again, it can just be used with the countable nouns. And a little, we just use it with the uncountable nouns. There is no usage of countable nouns with a little. Yes, there are many people make mistakes about using the wrong quantifier with the wrong type of noun. For example, much apples is incorrect because as apples are countable, we need to use many. If you pay attention to these misconceptions like noun usage, misinterpreting quantifiers, confusing the meaning of some with all, any with no, or unclear context, you will avoid common errors. Be aware of these conceptions. Yes, let's look at some exercises. There are people at the conference. When people are the plural noun of person, so it is countable, we need to use a lot of people. I don't have much time because time is uncountable and we need to use much instead of many. We need a few ingredients to make this delicious dish. She drank a lot of water. Again, as in the first exercise, water is uncountable, but we can use a lot of with both uncountable and countable nouns. He only had a few minutes to catch. As minutes is the countable, we can use a few. Yes, choose the correct quantifier to complete sentence. There are some of the employees were working late at night. We don't have fresh produce left in the refrigerator. As it is negative sentence, we need to use any. Students need to complete the assignment by Friday. We try to give the meaning of whole student, not just some of student. All students, we can say. No one knows the answer to this challenging problem. We say absence about the challenging problem. So we need to say no one. I didn't see any birds in the sky this morning. Again, here we need to use any because the sentence is negative. So we can not use no with the negative sentences, just we use any with negative and questions. Some of the employees were working late last night. We don't have any fresh produce in the refrigerator because the sentence is negative and we need to use any. Every student needs to complete assignment by Friday, each of the student. No one knows the answer to this challenging problem. I didn't see any birds as the sentence is again negative. Now let's have a look at what we have covered during this lesson. We covered the introduction to quantifiers, how much or how many of something we are talking about. We try to see the difference between definite and indefinite quantifiers. Like definite quantifiers indicates a specific amount like all, every, some, any, and no. And indefinite quantifiers are unspecified amount like much, many, a lot of, lots of, a few, a little. And examples of definite and the indefinite quantifier usage with the noun types as countable and uncountable nouns. And the quantifier selection based on noun type. For example, if there is a uncountable noun, what should we use? And if there is a countable noun, what should we use? Is important for this topic. And this is the end of the lesson. See you next lesson. If you have any question, please write below the comment section. And thank you for the attention. See you next lesson. Bye-bye.